So here is your grid for the 15th heat, and it's the final heat of the 2022 season. It's the 82 Masters, heat number 3. From Lithuania, the 5-3-3 of Martinas Stankevičius leads from pole position. Alongside him, the current championship leader, with just 2 finals to go tomorrow. Dennis Thun from Germany in the 5-44. Michael Becker in the 5-26, also representing Germany, will start on the inside of row 2 in 3rd position, and will be joined by Dutchman Thierry de Jong in the 5-8-8, with René Born rounding out the 5-strong grid in the 5-86. So the red lights ignited on the starting gantry for what will be the final time today. Can it be a clean sweep heading into tomorrow for Lithuania's Martinas Stankevičius, who gave us a bit of a Tokyo drift display in race number 2. Now the drivers will start closing up into formation ahead of 10 minutes plus an additional lap of racing. So the drivers now head into the tram lines. Lights are out, we're off and racing. Stankevičius takes the initial hold shot as Thierry de Jong slingshots past Michael Becker on the start phase and takes 3rd position as they head into turn 4 for the first time. And it's getting a bit close here because now Dennis Thun has got Michael Becker swarming all over the back bumper going through turns 9 and 10. The 2 Germans side by side into turn number 11. Thierry de Jong slots in front of René Born. But Dennis Thun takes the tighter line through turn number 12. Becker gets the overspeed. Will he be able to power through? No. And Thierry de Jong is going to mug the pair of them on the run down to turn number 13. Becker trying to get through on Thun. So there is a squabble. Stankevičius is away in clear, and the rest of the field are battling. So de Jong now puts himself into 2nd position. And Thun trying to get through, and then Becker just literally does the old crossover out of turn 4, puts the hammer down and slingshots past. René Born keeping pace with him at the moment. And looks to go, well, he did a bit of curb hopping. Did the 586, running on the Tony Kart chassis. The Stankevičius already has a... Oh, right, so René Born has got a 5-second time penalty, maybe for all 4 wheels outside of the tram lines. But I will wait for that to be confirmed. So Stankevičius is cruising away like it's a Saturday afternoon drive in the sunshine. But unfortunately here in Wackersdorf, it's very, very wet indeed. And his lead over Thierry de Jong now stretches to just over 4 seconds. De Jong now 7/10 of a second ahead of Michael Becker, who's got Dennis Thun around about 4/10 of a second behind. But Thierry de Jong had some confidence in the wet, and now he's showing this. As we head past 3 minutes elapsed, just under 7 minutes to go, as Dennis Thum trying to close in on the braking zone into turn number 12 on Michael Becker. Now the gap has slightly closed because on that particular occasion, after lap number 3, Thierry de Jong was slightly quicker. Dennis Thum going tighter on the curbs through turn 4. Becker's going to get the overspeed here, use the power, get the traction down a little bit quicker than the 5:44 from Kraft Motorsport, but still keeps ahead for third place. Wet weather conditions have proved to provide some with a little bit of daylight at the end of the tunnel, and others it's been a bit of a struggle. And Dankovic crosses the line to complete lap number 4. Here comes Thierry de Jong. Very interesting shot there from the camera on the gantry overlooking the start-finish line. Just seeing shadows rather than colour. But Dennis Thum has now got himself ahead of Michael Becker. Renneborn, who has got a 5-second time penalty coming his way. Still keeping them very, very honest. They third and fourth bump over the curves through the apex of turn number 5. Now Becker's got through on Thum again, and oh, Becker's gone round. Becker went round and he shakes his head. He clobbered the curbs on the inside of turn 10, and it just spat the back end out to the right-hand side and pirouetted him around. So now he ends up at the back end of the field, losing a lot of ground to Dennis Thum and Renneborn in the process. And he nearly has a problem with the left-hand side of the run going down from turns 11 to 12. Thierry de Jong doing the old European lean as always, trying to get that traction down. Still remember when he was competing at the grand finals at Project E20 in Bahrain, and he said, yeah, I'm 10 kilos too heavy. And maybe that 10 kilos can be a little bit of an advantage in an internal combustion kart. So 6 minutes down, 4 to go, plus an additional lap. All we call time on today's proceedings. Dennis Thum starting to stride away from Renneborn, and the gap between them just under 1.1 seconds. Michael Becker, well, he's slightly slower. I'm not too sure if he's having to wrestle with the pass a little bit here, but he was slightly slower. 1 minute 5.740 on that particular last lap. Martinas Stankovic setting a best lap time of 1 minute 4.381. He's on course to have a clean sweep so far this weekend. Every single race he's had the fastest lap. He's also secured pole position. There's 2 more races to decide what could be a defining moment, where we could have a potential of 5 different drivers taking the championship title for DD2 Masters. And what's more, an even more interesting statistic, could it be 5 different nations? 2018, it was Poland with Sławomir Molański, Roberto Brzezowski in 2019, who went on to win the grand finals in Sarno. And I was there willing him on, and he won it in front of a fantastic paddock that year. Sebastian Humpelhardt took the title back in 2020. And last year, Paul Louveau from France is the winner. Tourneval not back this year, but he is competing in the National Series de Karting over in France, and also the B&L Karting Series, and he has a chance to win the B&L Karting Series title in 2 weeks' time at the Home of Champions. Stankiewicz striding away into the distance, not quite to the level that we saw in the slicks on wet surface race that we had for Heat 2. Still having a 7.7 second advantage over Thierry de Jong, his nearest competitor, out on track as he floors the throttle going over the crest into turns 13 and 14, picking up spray as the tyres bite down onto the tarmac. Through turns 1 and 2 goes the Lithuanian. There's Thierry de Jong using the curbing through turn 1, through the right-hand kink at turn 2. And Michael Becker has really started picking up the pace. He's less than 4 seconds behind Reneborn after that unfortunate spill that he had, sending him backwards. So he was trying to go the other way around the track, going through turn 10 and 9 backwards, rather than going the traditional way around this 1,222 metre circuit. So after this one, we'll have 2 more laps to go. Stankiewicz not that far away from having a clean sweep so far here at Wackersdorf. And the race leader now makes his way through right-hander at turn 3. De Jong now through the very, very fast 1-2 chicane. It's pretty much, you can take it flat out on the dry. In the wet, you've got to have a different mindset and a different approach. So the timer has elapsed. We're on to our 10th and penultimate lap out of 11. Martin Stankiewicz making his way through turns 9 and 10. And what's going to be the penultimate time? Thierry de Jong coming through turn 9. Jumping over the curves through the apex of turn 10. That's what unsettled Michael Becker a few laps ago. Put him on the back foot. So last lap board is out, and it's being shown to our race leader from Lithuania, Martinas Stankiewicz, who now will cross the stripe. And his lead over Thierry de Jong, who now powers his way out of the final corner, adjusts the radiator flap, is 8.4 seconds. Dennis Thum, 13.1 seconds off of Stankiewicz. In third place, Reneborn, who will have a 5-second time penalty. That will drop him to 5th. Will find himself behind Michael Becker. But it's been a calm, collected, composed drive from this Lithuanian, this tall stature of an individual, one of the nicest guys in the paddock, but also a very, very competent and clinical racer. Through into turn number 12 comes Martinas Stankiewicz for the final time, the final 11th lap, and the final heats race lap of the 2022 season is going to go of the way of the Lithuanian as the 533 powers out of the final corner. It's a clean sweep on heat stay for Martinas Stankiewicz from Lithuania. Thierry de Jong will end the day on a good note in second position, 7.3 seconds behind the race winner. Dennis Thum crosses the line, 12.2 seconds away from the race leader in third. Reneborn will be fourth initially. His 5-second time penalty will drop him to 5th behind Michael Becker, who crosses the line. So Stankiewicz, clean sweep, pole position, fastest lap in all 3 races. And it's a good way to end the day for the Lithuanian as he goes into tomorrow's first final with an opportunity, not just possibly in the first race, but it's going to go down to the wire between him and Dennis Thum. He ends the day on a high note, taking 3 wins out of 3, finishing ahead of Thierry de Jong, Dennis Thum, Michael Becker through the adjusted results, Einar Bourne rounding out the 5-strong grid.